Today's date is November 17th, 2007. I'm Cliff Schaefer doing an interview of Mary Kean, Jim Kean, and in the room with me is Robert Dunham. So who'd like to start? We'll start off with what maybe your favorite memory of Murrieta, how long you've lived here.
All of my life.
All of your life?
Uh-huh.
When were you born?
December 12th, 1938.
Oh, really?
In Murrieta.
In Murrieta?
Mm-hmm.
Was there a hospital here at the time
no,
for that?
I was born at home.
At home? Did they have a doctor here, or was it more of a midwife thing? Okay.
Dr. Westfall.
That's neat. That's cool. And then growing up in Murrieta here. Your mother, your father, what he did.
Oh, my father was operating engineers, and he did dry farming. He was born here also, in the Charnock place, in 1914.
Okay, whereabouts did you guys live in Murrieta?
Here, in this house.
Oh, in this very same house? Wow, interesting. So, and your father did dry farming? So was this on a farm?
All over.
Uh-huh. So, the house property that you live in now, was this farm?
It was a horse farm. He had horses.
Okay. Okay. How many acres do you have still? I mean, do you have any at all?
It's split.
Okay.
Robert's over there and I'm over here.
Oh, okay. So it's split between the children? Okay. Okay, interesting.
He had tractors, naturally, for his farming, and I don't know. What else did he do?
Horses? Gymkhana?
Yeah, he had horses. We had gymkhanas.
Okay, gymkhanas. So did you compete with the gymkhanas?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We had it in the field behind us here. There was a field, big field back there.
How long did you guys do gymkhana for?
Oh, probably. Well, my dad did it all of his life till I got sick. But we did it till probably we were in high school,
Okay, that sounds fun. And then where did you go to high school at?
Elsinore High School.
Elsinore High School.
4 years. Right at the back.
Did you guys was there a busing system? Or
yes, they had a school bus.
Okay.
It picked up the kids in Temecula, then it came to Murrieta and picked us up. And then we went behind Wildemar and picked up the kids there, and then we went to the high school.
Okay.
And that was on Grand Avenue in Elsinore.
Okay. And how many kids do you think went to the school?
To our school? Probably about 300.
300? Wow.
Yeah.
What did you guys do for fun around here?
Besides
doing just the road house. Did you do trail riding? Swimming?
No, we just rode horseback.
Okay. Did you, the Murrieta Hot Springs, was that around at the time?
Yes, it was out there. It was, I never hung around the hot springs. We didn't have cars or anything to get us there anyway. So, and we all learned to swim at the Sykes Ranch. They had a reservoir, and our moms would take us up there and swim. You had to swim or drown because it was the same all over. Later, kids learned to swim at the hot springs, but we learned at the Sykes Ranch. We had we had a lot of kids. We used to play baseball and Red Rover, can you come over? Can I come over, somebody? We had 4-H.
Okay.
We were in 4-H. Murrieta Live Wires. I see now that the name has changed, but it was always Murrieta Live Wires. Were you in Boy Scouts? They did have Boy Scouts here. That's about all we did.
So a lot of just a lot of outdoors activities.
Right,
it sounds like, and you did a lot of things on your own.
Because everybody didn't have televisions then.
Yeah, And so let's back up a little bit. Grammar school, where did you go?
To Murrieta Elementary School on B Street, from 1st through 8th grade.
So it was like a one school, like everybody went together?
Everybody went together to the elementary school. And you graduated at 8th grade and went to the high school in Elsinore.
And do you remember the teachers there? The teacher there at the elementary school? Or?
We had, I remember Mrs. Rice, Miss Knott, Mrs. Davis,
Mr. Harmon,
Mr. Blake.
Mr. Blake.
Mr. Harmon was our principal. Mr. Blake was also our principal before Mr. Harmon. Cora Stoller was our janitor. Who did you say?
Mrs. Grigsby.
Grigsby, yes. I didn't have her, but she was there, Mrs. Grigsby.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Mrs. Biazzo was there at that school, was she?
Yeah.
Was she at the old school?
Yeah.
Mrs. Biazzo. That's about all. I had Miss Rice, Mrs. Rice, first and second grade, and then Miss Harmon. Mr. Harmon's sister was our third grade teacher, and then I went to fourth, fifth, and sixth. We had Miss Davis, and then when we got into the sixth or seventh and eighth grade, it was Mr. Harmon.
And so, okay, so since you've lived here all your life, do you remember anything about the fountain house or anything like that, or was it burned down at the time? It was gone at the time.
The railroad was gone.
Oh wow, the railroad was gone too.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Yeah. So let's talk about how Murrieta's changed then, because you've seen a lot of change from being more of a rural town, close-knit community, to being a much bigger town.
Yes, they used to have all kinds of events in town. We used to go for our school picnics. We'd go behind the Sykes Ranch. The river ran all year round.
Okay.
And we'd go down there for a picnic for the school at the end of the year. And it was like there was sand along the river. They had it fixed up nice for us. And then, of course, now the river doesn't run. But what else did we do?
Used to be dances on.
The riding club used to have dances at the old school in the auditorium.
Was it every night, or was it just
No.
every Saturday? Or
It was every Saturday night.
Did you have bands locally
Yes,
played, or
they
did
had
they come
bands
out from
come in.
different areas?
No, they were from other areas.
Okay.
And then they would go to Temecula when there wasn't one here. But there were bands that come from other areas, yeah. You're not on the hot spot.
I know. Well, if anybody would like to interject, it's okay, no problem. I'm not trying to put it's very low key. How about like any Native American population? Did you ever see them? Was there any Hispanic population? Was
We have Hispanic people.
Where did they live? Did they live in town, or did they
Yes,
live out?
they lived here in Murrieta.
Okay. Did you guys do anything together, or go to school?
Yeah, they were all our friends. There were no. I don't think there's any separation. They all played together.
Okay.
Oliveras, San Diegos,
Satellos.
I think that's probably all.
Was the church now
The Methodist Church?
Methodist Church, were they pretty well, not popular, but were they
Yes.
They were popular. Pretty good.
Yes. We went there. We went to Sunday school with the kids. I took the kids to Sunday school there. They had potlucks and things for the community. We used to have a lot of community things. They had showers for people when they got married, and if somebody lost their home, they tried to help. It's all different now because you don't know everyone. But it was a pretty close-knit community. Everybody knew everybody. I went through school. There were 6 of us girls and 2 boys that graduated in 8th grade. And I went through school from probably 3 of us were in the 1st grade together. But the other 3, I think they came 2nd or 3rd grade, and we went all through school together, all 6 of us, and graduated from high school. So we were pretty close.
So did Jim live here all his life as well?
No.
So he moved out here
When we got married.
Okay.
We got married in 1956
How'd you guys meet?
at my aunt's house.
And was it Murrieta or
San Bernardino.
San Bernardino. Okay. Why did you decide to live here? Because you had property and things like that?
No, we just liked it out here. I love Murrieta.
What types of like social service, not social, but like police, fire department, things like that at the time?
We didn't have when we were first here. We didn't have fire department. They had to come from Paris.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Paris and Elsinore. And then in '47, they started the fire department.
Was it volunteer?
Yes, volunteer
okay.
till 1986. About 1986.
Okay. Wow.
Knock.
And I forgot where she said the plane was taken out, but she's all trying to look at it now, take a picture and see if there's any green left. It's so developed.
I know.
That's got to be a big change.
My daughter lives out on the other side of the 215, and I tell her, you live in the fields. That's what it used to be. Farming fields. Yeah. It's changing. You know, they're going to dig up Plum Street and widen it and put storm drains in, and Ivy Street they're widening, and C Street and Juniper. That's what they're working on now. So it's changing.
Is that going to be a benefit to you guys? Do you think the change of the streets, or
the storm drain is going to be a big help.
Does it flood out here at all? Or?
It does. It'll come right down through here. But I think widening of Plum Street will be fine. It'll help everyone because they use that street so much and they go so fast. And the day spa people park on each side, so it's really dangerous.
So just making it a little bit bigger will accommodate that. That's neat. Well, it seems like you guys don't mind the change. I mean, it's changing, and like you said, things change, but has it hindered the community, do you think? Or, I mean,
no,
aside from the not being as tight-knit as it used to be, but...
I don't think it's hindered the community.
Just changed it.
Sure caused a lot of traffic problems.
The traffic's terrible. We never used to have that.
When did you guys start noticing, was it in the 90s, or when was that big change? Like, I mean, there's got to be a point where you kind of realize, wow, I mean, we used to be this kind of a smaller community, and now there's more people in town, and it seems like they keep coming. I mean, was there a certain point that began to happen?
Probably when the city took over.
When it became a city incorporated.
Yes, the city, then you start noticing changes, and they start building all these tract homes. Well, it was even before that, because they were building tract homes here before that. So it had to be before that. Because the county then was building them. It was like, oh, that's terrible. Look at that hill over there, full of homes.
Did you sell any land to the developers, or did you just divide it up amongst the family, or?
It's just us.
It's just the family. Oh, it's just you two. Okay. Interesting. Okay.
That used to be, there wasn't a trailer park over there. And that's all changed over there. And that happened before it was a city. But this was a big field behind us, and now it's homes all over back there.
Where did you guys used to get, well, I guess you were a farm, so you pretty much could purchase your own food, but where did you get, like, was there a general store before, you know?
There was an old general store, but most of your groceries were bought in Hemet or...
Okay.
Elsinore, Paris, or Hemet.
You know.
Was it like a weekly trip, a monthly trip, or did you guys go to the... Weekly trip? By car, by car. By car. Okay. Was there...
28 minutes.
With our mom.
Was the freeway system here at the time? I mean,
it wasn't, and then they built the 15.
250.
They built the 15 out here. It's back in the 50s they built that. That's an old freeway, and they built a 3-lane.
So would you take the 15 then out and then catch a little cross street? Or
we would take...
We didn't go on the freeway.
79 Winchester Road or...
Okay, yeah.
Or...
this used to be 395.
And so it was just the street that went out, or did it go all the way up?
Washington, it curved at the time.
Oh, okay.
Over here into Ivy. And that was $3.95.
So you guys kind of lived on the main road then?
Yeah, it was a curve like here and curve down there, and there was no stops and none of that stuff.
Oh, okay.
You know, it was a straight through road.
Mm-hmm.
But the 215 freeway, that was put in when?
I was in the 7th grade, I think,
Yeah, a long time
when
ago.
they opened that one up.
A lot of deaths out there on the Murrieta Hot Springs in there. They used to call it Coffin Corner, you know. And every week there'd be 2 or 3 people.
Was it just a dangerous turn or something?
Well, it's a
No, it was
freeway.
crossing the freeway.
Oh.
And they would
They
stop.
had a red light up in the center,
Uh-huh.
but everybody didn't stop.
Oh.
Well, this corner over here was bad, too.
Yeah, they'd roll over.
Wow.
They,
Going down
instead
the
of
road.
making the curve, they would go.
Oh, wow.
So they changed that. I don't remember when they changed that. So Washington goes straight, and then Ivy meets it right there.
Huh. I didn't know about the freeway. That's kind of neat.
I don't know so much about what happened for many years. I moved out of here. I was gone 20-some years.
Where'd you move? Where'd you go?
I moved to Moreno Valley.
Why'd you move? Just wanted to, or just wanted to get...
Well, I worked over there.
Okay, what'd you do?
I was a heavy cook.
Heavy equipment? Okay, cool. And where did you work out in Murrieta
I
Valley?
worked for Jaeger.
Jaeger? Okay. How long did you work for them?
About 14 years.
14 years. And then what, you just wanted to move back in... Why'd you decide to move back to Murrieta?
I moved back when I sold my house, and we moved back to Clearwood. I don't even remember what year. Year did I move back?
Hello? Hi. Let me come. Okay.
It's been about, what, 10 years
But you lived in Murrieta?
since I've moved back?
Been longer than that.
I think so.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
So you just wanted to move closer to the family, or just like Murrieta? Or?
No, I'm like my sister. I like Murrieta.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice town.
Okay.
So, Willamar is the one that has stayed most small, you know.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty...
But it's growing.
It's
they got
growing
a
like-
shopping
yeah, it's
center
growing
off
now.
Clinton Keys and a lot of tract homes. And But if you take Murrieta, and it's big. You got to include Bear Creek and across from Bear Creek, and then all out here. And
So, well, you actually, you know what? I just thought of something. You mentioned that earlier that you guys used to go to the Sykes. Sykes, thank you. Sykes area. So did you know them, the family,
Yes.
personally? So do you guys correspond a lot, or you know? Or
whenever we were up there.
just hung out with the kids, or was the family of?
Well, they were not my age. They were always a little bit younger than me.
Oh, okay.
But we knew them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We knew the mom, Howard's mom and dad, and that's who let us swim in the reservoir. And Howard didn't live here. I don't know where he lived. I remember when they moved his house in up there. I was probably 10, somewhere around there. And his nieces took me up there to show me, and we jumped on his bed. I told him about that. He's a grouchy man, Howard.
Oh, is he?
Yes.
Oh, geez.
And I said, Howard, I have to confess to you. I just did this a little while before he died. I said, you might get mad at me, but when you moved your house in, Evelyn and Sylvia and I used to go up there and jump on your bed. What? I said, we didn't hurt him, Howard.
You never even knew.
No.
So I told you. It's funny.
He was a nice man, but he could get grouchy. We just, I don't know, all the kids seemed to get along in town. Of course, there were fights. Naturally, there's always going to be that. But, I don't know, we all did things together. I remember we went to Ross Rail, had a reservoir up on the other side of the 15. And he told us we could swim there if we brought notes from our parents. So we were all excited because that's not too far away. So We got notes from our parents, but he told us we had to clean it.
Oh.
I mean, it was all mossy and everything, so we scrubbed it with brushes and everything. I mean, it was really clear.
I remember that.
Filled it up, and then he said, no, we couldn't use it. Yes, twice. We did that twice.
Oh, wow.
No more. We weren't suckers anymore.
I'm a little angry.
Yeah. You got it cleaned twice. It didn't work anymore after that.
Wow.
What else happened? We've always had relatives that lived in Murrieta. My aunt and uncle live over on 2nd Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And my cousins. And then I have a cousin on Plum Street. I had an aunt and uncle that lived up by the mountain, but they've passed. I don't know, we just have always just been kind of a close community. And there's just few left anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There aren't too many of the old time people.
Do you guys ever get together every now and then and talk? Or, I mean, do you still pretty contact with them? Or anybody?
Yes, when we see them, we talk.
Okay.
I think at the barbecue they're going to have somewhere for the old timers to go out and talk and get together on this fireman's barbecue this year, or this next year, so everybody can get together and talk. But it's different now. Of course, when you don't have your kids in school, you don't see people like you used to either. That makes a big difference. But I don't know, I've just always been home.
Oh, did you work? Actually, I don't think about it. Where did you
I did. I worked at Yankee International in Temecula for 23 years, 24 years.
Oh, wow. That's a long time. How long? So was it relatively new when it came out here? Or, I mean, when you went to work for them, was it a new company? Or?
They opened in 72 and I went to work in 77.
Okay. So pretty new, I mean, 5 years.
John B. Yankee, it was his plant. It's been sold now. But
what did you do there?
I was inspector.
Okay. What did the company make? What did they use?
Holsters and for police and military, guns, belts. Then we bought a backpack company, the Gregory Backpacks. Those are like the Cadillac of backpacks. They are. They're nice.
They're really nice.
Yeah. So that went in there too. But they split now, but it's a new company. It's B&E Systems from London. It's a big company that bought it. So they've split the backpacks away from the holsters.
Did you inspect all the different items, or were you like one particular item?
Oh, no, all of them.
All of them?
And then we had military contracts, so I had to do all the inspections for those. Yes.
Interesting. It's really interesting.
I could make a holster. I could still make a holster.
That's neat.
You know how to fit it. At first, when I was there, we had a store, and people could come in off the street and buy product. But a border patrolman came in one day, and for some reason, the receptionist didn't take his gun when he came in, and he dropped it in the store, and it went through the wall, and the sores were on the other side of the wall. He didn't hit anybody, but he could have killed somebody. So that ended the store. So now you have to order stuff from them. But my daughter works there. She's been there almost 30, has been there 30 years. She's still working. But yes, we used to call the Temecula people swamplanders on the back. Because it was all swampy down there going into Old Town, Temecula. It was all cattails and stuff. So we always called the kids swamp Flanders.
How did they change the ecology of it then? I mean, how did they change it from a swampland to what it is today?
I guess they dug it out and filled it up.
Okay, filled it up.
Yeah, they kept cleaning the channel out down there. Every time they cleaned the channel out, they brought the sand and the dirt in, and they eventually, they hauled dirt in from other places, when they built buildings and stuff.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah, it used to be always cattails and nothing along
Swampland. It's a swampland. It's funny.
They didn't get mad at us. They gave us back. That was a big thing to go to Temecula when we were little. All right, we get to go on our trip.
Well, it still kind of is. I mean, people kind of go to Temecula to do stuff even around here. I mean, it has the mall.
Oh, well, you have. I've never been in the mall.
Oh, you've never been
I
to the
am
mall?
not a mall shopper.
Well, I mean, it's not that great, but I mean, it's just, Temecula has most, if you live in these surrounding areas, I think has most of the restaurants, has most of the shopping.
They do.
Has most of the commerce, I guess.
We need more restaurants in Murrieta.
Yeah, yes, I agree, yes.
But I need to go walk through the mall. I should do that. My grandkids say, Grandma, you got to go to the mall. No, I don't.
Well, you should. I mean, don't go now because it's under construction. It's kind of a pain to get around, but I mean, it's a decent mall. I mean, it's not too big, and you can walk around it pretty quickly. But if you're not a big mall person, and you don't really think it's that spectacular.
No, I'm just not a mall person. I'll tell you what, I like to go to a mall at Christmas time to hear the carols.
Oh yeah.
Watch the people and
They
stuff.
decorate it all up.
But I guess I'm probably one of the few that don't like malls. I don't know. Do you like the malls, Phil?
I don't go too much. I think it was the way we were raised up. We never had anything around us where we could go and do it, and then they start putting all this stuff in, so.
What's that? Yeah.
They used to order out of the catalog.
Yeah, it's true.
You just don't. It doesn't have that much interest for you.
Especially when you're so, I guess, when you're an outdoorsy person, it's more of a tactile, more of a kinesthetic environment. You're doing, you're touching, you're using your imagination. You're doing a lot more than just walking up and down looking.
Right.
I don't, how much fun can shopping be? So I understand where you're coming from, definitely. For sure.
I try to spend money here.
Keep the money in this.
Right, in Murrieta.
So do you think, actually on that note about the mall and things, do you think that's, as far as for the kids and things out here growing up, do you think they're missing, a certain lifestyle, maybe missing that outdoorsiness, you know what I'm saying, that being able to go out
like
and do,
we have.
Yeah, do you think that's
Yes, I don't think you can do that anymore. I think it's dangerous for kids to be out running.
Whereas you could, no problem. And clean reservoirs.
And of course, we were always safe on the horses. We could get away from anybody.
Yeah, that's true.
That was never,
They didn't have the crime that they have now either.
You don't want your kids out walking the streets now.
Yeah.
Halloween night, we were always out trick-or-treating. But I was at my daughter's this year for Halloween, and she lives on a busy street and had probably, 10 people? People aren't letting their kids out. It's not safe. And that's a shame, because that takes away, Those are fun times you look back on and remember. But I don't know how you would ever keep it safe. You have to take the bad with the good, I guess, when you grow.
It's different.
Yes. I got a kick out of my aunt. She said, it's always Orange County people moving in here. And I said, no, you have people from San Diego County, Riverside County, LA County. So now she says the Orange County and the San Diego County people. I haven't got her to LA County yet. I told her there's people in our county that are moving in here too. But she's going to be 90 in March, so.
Does she live in Murrieta still?
Yes.
What is her name?
Lucy Dunham.
Lucy Dunham. Okay, yes.
Do you have her on your list?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
That's good.
You know, back in the late 70s and 80s, this was all horse ranches. You knew that?
Yes. Well, it was ranching and
mostly horse ranches, though.
Okay.
They for racing.
Oh, racing horses. Did they
thoroughbreds?
Thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
Where did they go? Did they out to LA area or?
They went to Santa Anita, Hollywood Park, Del Mar.
Wow.
San Francisco. Oh no, they were top horses.
Yeah, they are. I mean, those are some top names.
Yeah, there was a lot of top trainers in here. But then, you know, they started selling out, building houses in place, like everything else. It moves out.
Yeah.
Moves on.
So, how many ranches at the time? Was it like any particular big ranch that did that, or was it like?
Oh no, they had several.
A whole bunch of them.
You had Pasco's. You had Ritter's. You had El Rancho Murrieta. What was the one across from El Rancho Murrieta up the street? At Magnolia.
You know, it's been so long you forget the names. It's the names of the people that the ranch wouldn't mean anything, but the names of the people that were in there. You know, they were. So, I mean.
Yeah, Circle H was up there.
Wow. Were there any? Now I'm thinking about this. Were there any celebrities or bigwigs that came in that purchased horses or anything like that? You know, did they come in and sponsor horses? You know.
Yes, they did. I'll tell you what. We lived up at Murrieta Stud. And one day we were there, and somebody drove in the yard, and there was Desi Arnaz.
Oh, wow. Well, they lived in Hemet. Didn't they have a place in Hemet? Desi Arnaz? I think they did. I'm not sure.
But he come driving up, and he pet our dog, and Karen and I were, my daughter and Karen and I were never going to wash the dog. And I saw another one there drive in, and then he backed out one day, and I can't remember. He was looking for El Rancho Murrieta. I can't remember his name. But yes, they did come there a lot. Especially to El Rancho Murrieta.
Okay, so that's a big one. So we're, let's talk about that encounter you had with Deseret. So you were there at the ranch, or?
He talked to him, yes.
Oh, really? Oh, cool.
He got out of his car, one pant leg tucked in his boot, the other one out. You knew immediately who he was.
Did he purchase a horse, or?
No, he was looking for El Rancho Murrieta.
Oh, okay.
He just came too far.
Came too far. That's neat. That's neat.
I'm sure there were others up there.
Well, I mean, big names like that in horses and the racing, I'm sure they came out.
Well, El Rancho Murrieta trained their horses there. Mr. Ritter did not train his horses there. He raised them there, and then would take them in to be trained into Hollywood Park or wherever up there. That was the difference.
Did you know who Ritter was?
No, I don't. If you want to talk a little bit about him, that's fine.
No, but you can. You know more about it than I do. Jim
Ritter, right?
Publisher, newspaper.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I was on that.
Newspapers and football teams, all kinds of stuff, radio station.
Oh, okay. So did he live here, or did he just own?
He owned the ranch. He lived in Pasadena, but he would come out here.
Okay, so he just owned several businesses and things. Yeah. And that was just his ranch.
He had about 35 newspapers.
Wow.
I'm gonna go home. I got a cold.
Well, nice to meet you. Take care, guys. Well, anything else you'd like to add, or?
I don't know.
You're good. You're good. I mean, you don't have to. If you think of anything,
I was just trying to think of